Hello, welcome back. Angela here. Today I'm here to go through a tutorial with you for the step block card. Now you would have seen a lot of these on Pinterest, and I do mine a little differently along the way. I did get the original measurements just for the base card from Deb Volder. Thank you, Deb. But I have done my layers a bit different to make the card a lot more sturdier, because with all the cuts and scores on this particular card, it can be quite flimsy if you don't put enough layers on your card. And then at the end it will just fold flat and it will fit in a 6" by 6" envelope. So we'll just get started. So to start with, I'll just zoom out a little bit for you. So I have pre-cut some. So to start off, you need a piece of cardstock 12 inches long by 4.5 inches wide. Then you are going to score on the long side at 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 4.5 inches, 6 inches, 7.5 inches, 9 inches, and 10.5 inches. Then you're going to turn it and score it on the short side at 1.5 inches all the way down, and then at 3 inches all the way down. I will have the measurements in the comments section below. Then you'll notice I've got some crosses. So we're counting across this last piece, this flap. I just scored it and folded it under because that's going to get glued down later. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares with that piece folded under. Okay, so number 1, 2, 3, the third square we're going to cut out, the fourth square we're going to cut out, the fifth square we're going to cut out, and then this one down here we're going to cut out. So we'll just do that quickly. So you're just cutting along the score lines. I just find it easier to put across, then I know where I'm at. So you do your cutting before you start scoring anything. It's just that last piece. Bit hard to see the score line on this Pool Party Blue actually. So then when we've cut that out, we've got that left, and that piece should be under there. So you've got 2 squares, 2 squares, 3 squares, 3 squares, then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across the bottom. So then what we're going to do is along this one we're going to cut a slit, and along this one we're going to cut a slit. So just along that square there, just till you get to the next fold line, cut a slit, and turning it round and doing the same thing on that side. And then we're going to come down to this one here, and we're going to cut along there and turn it round, and we're just going to cut to that one. So just the bottom of this, like so. So you will have something like that. So you'll have your 2 squares on each side, but we've cut those slits. Then you'll have 3 squares that side and 3 squares that side, but we've cut that slit and that slit. And then you can grab your bone folder and just burnish all the fold lines. I could have done all this before I started, but then you wouldn't have seen it from the beginning. It's a lot easier. Okay, so then we've got that, and we're going to fold that one under. So this square that's down here all by itself, that is your center square. So what you're going to do then is you're going to put tear and tape along here. I know some people just use snail, but it will not hold your card. You need something really strong, and I always put 3 pieces of snail on everything I'm adhering with this card, because it just, except for the top layer when you're just doing the embellishments, they can just be used with snail or dimensionals, but not when you're doing your base card. You need to use tear and tape. So just on those 2 flaps, just notice this one just needs a bit of a trim. I haven't cut that exactly straight. So just a little bit of a trim there. Right, so this first one we're just going to pull off tear and tape, and then we're going to glue it to this side. So remember, this is your middle, then just bend that in. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to come up to that edge as even as I can, and just adhere it down to there. Then we just need to take this piece off, tear and tape off. It's just gone over the edge a bit there, so I just fold it back. And we're just going to take this piece off. Then we're just going to bend that piece in so it matches up to that one, like that. And you can see that the stairs are starting to form. Now, some people think that this is the top of your card, but it's not. What you need to remember is this is the back of your card. So it sits like that. So that is your back of your card, and it sits like that. So you've got your stairs going up there. Now, we need to adhere this, and there's nothing to adhere it. So what we need to do, we need to cut a piece of cardstock that is 1 inch wide. Sorry. 1 inch wide by 4.5 inches long, and we need to score it at 1/2 inch. Now it's really hard to score it at 1/2 inch unless you use your scoring plate. If you're going to use your trimmer, just cut it at 3 inches wide and then make a score at 2.5 inches and then cut it down so it's only 1 inch wide, and then you're going to score it, have that score line there. And then I've already applied tear and tape to both sides like so. I'm only going to peel off one side first. Then on this piece that's flapping around, we just need to line it up so it's like that. Okay, so then we're going to peel the other side of the tear and tape off, and that gives you how you join the piece at the back. Try lined up before you go pressing it down, because once you press down with tear and tape you're not going to get it up. That's the good thing about it, especially with these. I use tear and tape on all my boxes and especially this card. So then what we need to do, we need to have a piece of cardstock that measures 4.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and that's going to go on your bottom. So once again, there's a lot of layering with this card. But once you've done a couple, it's quite easy. Now, this tutorial is going to show you the fully embellished card, so it's most probably going to be a long video, but I'll try and go as fast as I can. It's just getting all the panels on. So that piece I'm going to line it up on the bottom there. And then let it go down there. So you've got a nice finish at the bottom. Right. It just needs to be trimmed off a fraction. Right. So then you need 2 4.5 by 1.5, and they are going to go across the bottom like this. And that's what I mean by a lot of people just cut the 15 squares out, which you can do if that's what you want to do, but really you really need to have this extra stability in the card. Otherwise it's just not going to stand for you and it's not going to last the length of time. So just by doing this little bit of extra work, it's well worth it. And especially if you're doing one for an order for somebody, you know, you don't want them coming back saying, oh, that card you made me fell apart. Wouldn't that be awful? I'd be devastated. So then I'm just going to peel that off. Peel that off, and then I'm just going to line that up, and I'm going to put that on the bottom section. So I want it to be right on that edge and in line with the score line, and then that's just going to sit like that. Then you're going to need, because we've got to do this both sides, then you're going to need 2 3 inches by 1.5. So we don't want to see where I've written the measurements. And I've already stamped and punched out my die cuts to go on the card, so that's going to be really quick and easy to do that. So we just peel that off. Then we're going to just line that up with the second piece, and we're just going to put it along there. Then you need 2 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch, and that's just for your top piece. And then we've just got to repeat the process on the other side. And with the tear and tape, there is 27 meters of it on one reel, so it does last quite a long time. Now we just need to repeat the process on the other side. Just quickly put all the tear and tape down. It's one piece, 3 inches by 1.5 inches. You do need to have it on the right on the edge as much as you can, because otherwise it's going to lift up. So if you do this with your cardstock, with your tear and tape, and just take your time and do this extra step that I do, it is going to make your card a lot more stable. So just one more piece, 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch. I have tried by just putting 2 strips of tear and tape, but you really need to put your 3. It's once you get into the habit, it's not going to, it doesn't. What I like to do is I just like to cut all my pieces ready to go before I start the card. So I'm just going to turn that over on the other side. Just line that up at the end, because once it's down you won't lift it up with the tear and tape. Then just your 3 inch by 1.5 inch piece. And you'll find if you cut everything out, it's really not going to take you that much longer to put this extra panel on. And it's just well worth it. And you just pop, doesn't matter, that's going to be covered with DSP. So whereas normally people just tell you to put the 15 squares on, I've put the long piece there, then that piece and that piece on both sides. Okay, so yeah, so if you only wanted to do the 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch, if you did those 15 of those, then you would need your next layer on top of that would be 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. Okay, so we'll start on the front. Now I've already cut some designer series squares, 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. So I've got my 6 for the front, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So just have to decide which way I'm going to go. I think I'll have that one there, that one up there, that one there, that one there. I'll put that one up to the top, that one there, and that one there. And now I'm going to only use my Snell adhesive, if I can just see where it is. Now, as you can see, this is from the Have a Cuppa Designer Series paper stack. So I'm just going to stick them onto there. And them onto there. And that one at the top. And just remember, in colours 2014 to 2016 are going to be going very shortly. My favourite colour, Blackberry Bliss, is on its way out after May. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do without my Blackberry Bliss. I just love that colour to bits. And anyway, I'm sure they're going to bring in some magnificent colours to replace them. But if you are wanting any of those in colours, the 2014 to 2016, you only have to the end of May this year, 2016. So then we're going to put that one on there like that. Then we're going to turn it onto this side. Now what I've done on my back side is I want to have a piece that people can write on. So that measures 4 3/8 by 1 3/8. And I would use normally tear and tape, but I'm just mindful to how long the video is going to go for. So then that goes on there as the bottom layer. And then I've got 3 that I want to go up like that. So this is the back of your card. Around there. And we don't have that one going up that way, so I want the stripes going up the same way as they are on the front. And then another lot of dots. And this is a great card to use up all your scraps too. So make sure you check out all my tutorials. If you're wanting a tutorial on anything specific, please ask, I don't mind. Now, I normally would put these, actually, I'll do the front steps. So we've done the back, we've done the front, now we just need the designer paper on 1, 2, 3. So, I'm going to go that way. So we're just going to pop him on there. Then the dots on the next. And that hasn't gone on straight. So that's on straight. Push those down. And then just one more. And then we can put die cuts on. So like that. So we've put all our designer series paper on the front with the steps 1, 2, 3 and on the back. And then the person, if you're making this for someone, they can just push that flat and write on there, which I think is a really good idea. But it just gives it a lot more stability with all the cuts and folds, but it's quite an effective looking card. So we'll just go ahead and put the die cuts on. Just grab my dimensionals. So then you have to decide. I have already stamped and cut them out to save some time. That one's going to go. That one goes, I'm going to put there, goes a bit up into the next square, but that's okay. Then I'm going to have a tie going there. Little booties there. A little bib there, so that's going to be so cute. So we'll just get the dimensionals happening on these. So you just work out where you want everything before you start putting them on. Dimensionals on the back of your little toy here. back of your bib. On the back of your tie. The tie's quite narrow. Oh no, I might just be able to make that without this, as long as like that. And your six-sided shape can go at the top. Right, so that's really, I've done this more in the boy colours because the other one I did was in the girl colours. So that's coming together quite nicely. Then we want to just pop on the back. Pop safe chili, pop that one there, duck on the back, or duck there, duck on the back, yep, and another tie. I just try and not have the same colours next to each other as well. Now that's just got a bit of dimensional that's come over the edge, so I'm just going to trim that off. And pop the tie on there. And there are just a couple of extra things that I did that I'll just show you what I did. Using the Uniball gel pen. I think I can see it. So then that's goes on there. Then just add duck. But I do stress it is best that you do that extra panel that I do, because it just makes your card a lot more sturdier. So that's the back. It's looking quite cute. Now we just need to put the ones up the stairs. So we're just going to put the safety pin right in the middle of number 2 block. So if you put that across like that, then we're going to put another tie whichever way you want it. I'm putting it the opposite way till I have it on the front, like that. And then I've just got 2 little booties to go right up here on the top. And you mightn't want to embellish yours on every square, that's fine. You might want to put sentiments instead. Clear that off. So we're just going to put 1 little booty there, 1 little booty there. Now what I did with the gel pen is with the booties I just went round like a running stitch, just round on the heel, and then also just across the top, just to add a little bit more dimensional. So on that one too, just booties. I did do it before I put it on the card, which was a lot easier. And that one just goes along like that. And then the same with the bib. I just ran it round like that. So you could even, with the tie, you could put a little rhinestone in there if you wanted to. But that's just about it with the card. There is one other thing that I'd like to show you, like how I did with the original pink one. I had my bibs, and as I mentioned before, I actually cut the 6 squares and I sponged the squares before putting the dimensionals on. So whereas with the boy one, I've just put designer series paper on. So they're 2 different techniques that you could use to do that. But what I wanted to show you was with the bib here, how I put that little piece of, I don't know if you can see it on the plum ink, the little piece of gold cord just at the top of the bib. You can see it a bit better like that. So we do have a bib. I think we only put 1 bib on this one. So what I did was I got the gold cord, just chopped off the end, and then I got my, and just for a piece of it, just stuck it like that, chopped it off. That's a bit longer than I would have used. Then I just got a pair of tweezers, and that's going to be kind to me and go straight under. But then just see how much you want, cut it off about there, then get the tweezers, and remember it's got the snail on it, so it's going to stick. You can get it underneath the bib and then press down. The snail will glue it down, and that's just another bit of dimension that you can add to your card by just using that gold cord. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful with the step block card. I used the Have a Cuppa designer series paper on this, and I stamped the images in Island Indigo, Pool Party, Wild Wasabi and Chocolate Chip. So, and as I said, I like to leave a blank there so the person can write a message, and it will lie nice and flat for you to go in your 6" by 6" card. So I hope that you'll give this one a try. It is a really fun card to make, and I've made quite a few of them now, and yeah, people just really do like them. They're just something different. So thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to doing another tutorial with you next time.